Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, breaking down the top 5 takeaways from this year's Summer League. And as you can see, we have a special podcast on the go for this one. We're welcoming the Warwich Report to help us break down this Summer League. Welcome to the Raptors Digest.
Thank you guys for having me, Ben and Riker. This is a pleasure. It's a lot of fun doing this. We've done a video already. This one's going on Raptors Digest. So yeah, thank you guys for doing this video. I do really appreciate it.
Yeah, if you don't know who this man is, he's killing it. He is breaking down the Raptors avec class, and he's one of our favorite YouTubers that have popped up of the many now that seem to be doing the Raptors, but distinguish himself among the top, if not the top, hence the collaboration. Ben, we're breaking down top 5. Where are we starting?
Yeah, let's start it with the big one, the one that was most controversial coming into Summer League. It's Scottie Barnes. Obviously, Raptors fans, they were all sold on Suggs. We can look back to the live reaction and see I had a cake ready for Suggs. We were amped up. Michael Grange baited the Raptors fans, and then to everyone's shock, we drafted Scottie Barnes with the 4th pick in the NBA draft. But it seems a lot of people have come around on this pickup, and now after watching this year's Summer League, sure, we did have a dud of a game. There was one game against the Golden State Warriors that was a little bit messy, not the greatest box score nights, but other than that, he has been a monster, showing ferocious defense. The jump shot looks a little bit polished. He's hitting middies, guys. Scottie Barnes, him being a legit top 5 pick, I think is the first takeaway we got to come from with Summer League.
He was going to be 5. People are complaining that it was a 4-man draft and we didn't pick the 4th best man, but Scottie Barnes, we didn't pick a guy who would have slipped to 15 or anything. He would have been selected next. And fit. It's better with the team. We don't know how Pascal Siakam is going to return, and it bolsters our defense. Now, the one argument that I'll make is that he's shooting pretty poorly from 3, and we know what happens when we clog up the paint because defenders can sag off and you don't let Pascal Siakam do his thing and drive to the lane. So he's not really helping that situation very much, but this looks like a guy who can really take over the mantle of the future for the Toronto Raptors because he's coming in OG-esque, but with already tight handles. So I love this. Prav, what do you see from Scottie Barnes? I was about to say OG because it's almost like you're looking at the same guy out there.
No, I like Scottie Barnes. I talked about him several months ago. I actually compared him a little bit to Pascal Siakam in terms of similarities between them in size and weight and the things they're able to do. Now, obviously, we know Pascal came into the league not being able to shoot either. So I know it sucks that he's not able to space the floor, but in terms of everything else he does, his defense, his switchability on he can guard multiple positions. He can, we can go small ball lineup playing him at the center. He seems like he's very strong already for 19, 20-year-old kid. So that's something that really intrigues me. Obviously, Nick Nurse likes his defense. We know that. So some of the things he's able to do, passing as a 6'9" guy, that's intriguing. So I'm intrigued to see how the lineup, I want to see a lineup of Pascal, OG, throw Scottie Barnes and Precious Achiuwa in there. That floor spacing is going to be terrible, but they're not going to be scoring any points on us. So no, I love the pick initially. Like you guys, I was a little bit surprised the Raptors actually took Scottie Barnes. So I was thinking it's maybe a smokescreen, but I love the pick. I love what he's showing, and he's only going to improve in here. So he loves being on the Raptors, which is something you absolutely want.
Let's hear all the people, all the L's and the F's when we were doing the live draft watch. They said LLF. This is the worst draft pick. Let's hear them now. Let's hear them. I think everybody's come around for Scottie Barnes. This is an easy one.
Yeah, big takeaway from Summer League, but probably you brought it up. Seeing him play alongside Precious has been gracious to our eyes because Precious, obviously the center we acquired in the Kyle Lowry trade, he's come in and repped this Toronto Raptors Summer League, and he has balled out himself. And the second takeaway I want to sort of look at in this Summer League is Precious Achiuwa kind of looks like a starting caliber center, and that might be a hot take. Maybe we debate this here, but certainly in the future. But sure, being a 6'8" guy on paper didn't seem like the perfect pickup for the Toronto Raptors. And specifically, Riker and I on the potential trade preview videos, we weren't necessarily that high on him, but I've been buying in. I've been scoping out the Precious propaganda, and watching that paired alongside Summer League, I am sold on this guy being our starting center going into this season, and just being a guy that has a promising jump shot, an ability to rebound, defend, dunk over people. He is exactly what we need at the 5 position.
Yo, Precious, Anteta Chuo by Anteta Bio Chua. Anteta Kupo
Adebayo
Chua.
Chua.
But listen, I'm gonna save my comments for a second because Rob, you're not fully sold on not having a legit 7-footer. So despite what Ben's saying, what are you not feeling about Precious?
Here's the thing. I wanted the Raptors to sign a 7-foot center in free agency. I don't think there's no one on Miami that's a 7-foot center. I don't believe outside of Dwayne Dedman. We're not, let's be honest, we're not getting him in a trade, and we don't want him in a trade anyways. So I like Precious Achiuwa. He's a very high energy guy. And as you guys talked about as well, some of the things he brings to the Raptors, it's very Raptor-esque, in terms of defense, his hops, his hustle. And also to note is, I just read this somewhere online. I don't know if Precious said this or a fan wrote about Precious Achiuwa. Apparently, he said Eric Spoelstra did not let him shoot three-pointers when he was with the Miami Heat because they wanted Dwayne Dedman to be that big man who can shoot the three. So he's shown a few times where he's able to shoot the threes. I think we can expand his game. And he's, 21, 22 years old. He's only going to go up from here. So I love the pick. I would have liked the 7-foot center, but well, I really do like Precious.
You might get your wish. You might get your wish. We're seeing the reports come in now. We're both going to break down videos basically detailing that Dragic might get flipped for Moses Brown, who was the chin-up guy, and Dwight Powell and a filler on October, so basically before the trade deadline. So we'll detail that. So you still might end up finishing the season off with a proper 7-footer. But let's just say this. 16 points is his average now in Summer League. Precious over 2-3 games, 7 rebounds, a block, and a steal. All that we asked from Aaron Baines was to just be in the paint and finish. And we didn't really get much of either. Now, Precious Achiuwa, not only is he going out there and just being present in the paint, having a decent touch, he's actually scoring. He's creating. He's carrying the ball up the court. He's finishing transition. I mean, these are things we didn't even expect from Achiuwa for getting. So I'm very excited.
He's so fast. He runs the court. He's like Usain Bolt going up the lane. He's what Siakam once was, but is a thick and heavy dude. This is what we need out of the center position. Imagine Malachi from Fred VanVleet, whoever, Scottie Barnes, Delano Banton throwing those lob passes to Precious to just yam it on some people in transition. I am sold on Precious. I'm propagating the Precious propaganda on the Raptors Digest here. I've been watching it. I've been digesting. Now I'm giving it out to everyone else. But I guess the third big takeaway from this from the Summer League also involves a guy that played a lot of center position for the Toronto Raptors last year, and it's Freddy Gillespie, who really has he showed some promise over the course of his first tenure with the Raptors in the actual big team, but in Summer League really hasn't put it all together. Guys, are we sort of locking it in, or should we wait a little bit, see how he plays in camp? That he's probably not going to make the roster. He's not going to get that fully guaranteed contract this season.
I'm comfortable to lock it in. Brad, is he gone?
I want him to stay. I know people. I know he has not had a good Summer League. Let's be honest. He's had a terrible Summer League, and he almost looks like he's out of shape. He's not ready mentally and physically to play basketball. But we also do have to remember, if we get rid of him, we have Precious and Cam Birch, and then who's our third big? Like, Chris Boucher is not playing the center position. I think we should hold on to Freddy Gillespie until we get another center. That's the only thing I have with getting rid of Freddy Gillespie. But in terms of his weight and size as well, I believe he's listed at 6'8", 6'9", 242 pounds, and Cam Birch is 228. So we do need him for certain matchups if we do play bigger guys. But again, and like I said, I've been a little bit disappointed in Freddy Gillespie. I wouldn't let him go just as of yet. Let's see how training camp goes. Let's see how preseason goes. And then we obviously have to wait and see if we get, as you touched upon, Moses Brown. So
he was a locker room guy. He was singing Party to the USA and Initiation with Malachi. He was carrying the load. He was singing his heart out. So, he's a likable dude, but you got to perform. You can't just go out and be a dud on the court. And it seemed like Summer League, he should be able to show out or at least be confident out there, which hasn't been the case.
Yeah, it's tough because he's such a likable dude. You want to see him succeed on the Toronto Raptors, looking at his interviews and such things. And maybe he just gets a couple more years of development in the 905. Maybe he sneaks into a two-way and see what happens. But I don't know. There's a lot of guys vying for roster positions this year. And Freddy Gillespie, if he continues to play the level he's been playing in this Summer League, probably won't make the cut. There's a lot of different directions we can go, and especially where we are sort of lorded up now at the big man position. So that's its own little disappointment, but I'm going to turn it to the other end of the spectrum. And some people are still disappointed in this guy because they're looking at the box scores. They're not watching the game. But Delano Banton, he has been the biggest shocker for me this summer league. His just smoothness, breaking down people as a 6'9" point guard, his handle, his passing ability, those are all things that I thought would be a little bit more raw coming into the NBA, considering everything we saw from highlights of him in college and how he was even talking about himself, maybe saying, oh, I should probably get a year of development. He was signed on a guaranteed 2-year contract with this team as a second-round pick, earned every bit of that contract in this year's summer league. Guys, not even as a project, Delano Banton looks like a guy who might be ready to get some minutes, maybe even if it's spot minutes here or there in the NBA right now.
You said it. You said it. Future of the Toronto Raptors, too, is actually being able to see above double teams, maybe have a little bit better court vision, not have so much pressure on 2 6-foot guards that have difficulty scoring in the paint. We're going to play a bigger, different brand of basketball next season. It's super exciting. And Delano Banton, who we thought was going to be this long-term project, really exciting prospect with potentially a high ceiling, looks like his development might be expedited and rushed along, and we can support the Canadian in the, the proper team, maybe with fans. I don't know. It's pretty, this is an exciting narrative, definitely.
And let's talk about the fact that what he's doing off court. He's been showing Scottie Barnes. I don't know how much you guys have been following Scottie Barnes on social media, but he's been showing Scottie Barnes the entire Toronto. He's been representing Canada and Toronto well. So I really like the fact that he's alone. Just let's focus on his off court things he's doing. He's really repping Toronto well, and he's showing the guy around Toronto. Obviously, Scottie Barnes has said that he really likes being in Toronto, but just having someone like that on the team that represents Toronto, I think that's great. And obviously, some of the things you guys touched upon in terms of length, his first 2 games weren't very impressive in the summer league, but he looks really good. His passing, his defense looked great off the get-go. His blocking shots, he's doing a lot of little things out there that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. So I like him. Like you said, he's gonna need a little bit work, but I like him. I think he's gonna be great in the future. And this is something Masai Ujiri did in the summer, and it may just be off in the future, signing these 6'8", 6'9" guys who can pass. So I like it.
Friendships. That's a big thing. We had the bromance with Lowry and DeMar DeRozan.
Hey,
we had OG.
Don't forget the original bromance, Sonny Weems and DeMar.
Sonny Weems and DeMar, yeah.
I remember Sonny
who
Weems.
we broke down in a video previously. I went on a hunt for Sonny Weems. I caught wind that he was in Toronto while I was there, so I tried to do a blog to catch him on the streets, but I never saw him after. But, OG and now Gary Trent Jr. and maybe Scottie Barnes and Delano Banton could be the next bromance that we can ship. So
yep.
It's all fun.
Our 2 6'9" point guards in the backcourt that are going to be dominating the league in a few years ahead. But we do have another point guard, and that's our 5th takeaway that has impressed some people and has mixed reviews, I guess, so to speak, over the course of Summer League. But Malachi Flynn, he certainly looks like a legit NBA backup. His jump shot is clean. He's getting to the rim well. He looks to be a little bit of a better finisher than not Freddy Gillespie, definitely Freddy Gillespie, but than Fred VanVleet, just, in terms of touch. And, Fred, that's his one real weakness with his game. But there are question marks about his passing in terms of how much he's doing. Obviously, Malachi was more of a creator, I felt like, when he came into the league last year, setting up Kem Birch specifically in the second half of the season, a lot of pick and rolls. Haven't seen a lot of that in this year's Summer League, seen a lot of shots being taken by Malachi. Maybe that will change when he's with the big team, but can we safely say, because there's question marks when we traded TD2 and Matt Thomas, is Malachi ready to get these minutes as a backup point guard in the league? And then obviously we lost Kyle Lowry now, and sure, we'll see what happens with Dragic, but Malachi Flynn has kind of been given the reins to the backup position. And do you think after the Summer League it's safe to say that he's ready to fulfill that role?
I'll let you take this one away, Prep.
Okay, I agree. I think I agree. I really want Malachi Flynn starting. We should probably try and move Dragic as soon as possible when we're able to move him for a good piece. But I want Malachi Flynn getting a lot of touches off of the bench. I think he could be a really good scorer off the bench. Now, we know the Raptors struggled a little bit last season in terms of bench scoring. And I know there's been question marks about him not being able to pass. Well, we saw some nice passes yesterday. I can't remember the exact stat line for him, but he had 5 or 6 assists yesterday, including that very nice one to Precious Achiuwa, where he rolled in and Precious just dunked on someone. So I think he's capable of a passer. I think maybe he's just being asked to score more. Maybe that is what maybe what they're looking for in terms of the summer league. But I like him. I think he's got a lot of potential. He reminds me of Freddy. I was going to say Freddy Gillespie as well. I was going to say Fred VanVleet. He reminds me a lot of Fred VanVleet, obviously younger. And I think he has a higher ceiling than, maybe a bold take, but I think he has a higher ceiling than Fred VanVleet.
Ooh. Super hot take. I don't even want to unpackage that one right yet. But the concern with the facilitating, don't give him too much credit on passing it, because it was a shovel pass on a 2-on-1 fast break. That's you make that pass or you don't. That's an easy one. We're talking about making offense easier for your teammates. Only averaging 3 assists in summer league when we thought he would take a big step up. But I'm not worried about it, because in that even in the game that they lost against the Golden State Warriors, we said he's taking every shot right now. Like, he's shooting everything and in a variety of ways. But you know what we don't have off the bench is scoring. So if he wants to take that load, and he definitely has the confidence for it. And guess what? I thought his 3-point shooting wasn't great, but he's shooting 41%, 12 for 29. So listen, if we have a guy, as long as he's not a chucker, at a low percentage, if he's willing to come take that offensive sort of score first player off the bench, then I don't mind that role for Flynn. I think he's game ready. He's ready to go. There's no worries about him like there was about Terrence Davis.
Yeah. No, Malachi Flynn, he's ready to go.
And also, sorry guys, I'm going to touch on one thing before we move on to the next one. But also to notice, Scottie Barnes can play the point guard position as well. So if there's issues about Malachi Flynn into the season about not passing, he could play. We could kind of play him off ball like we did with Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry last season. So we know Scottie Barnes can facilitate, so he could be that guy who can get others involved and maybe get the ball moving a little bit. So
yeah, well, if there's one guy that showed his passing prowess, it was Scottie Barnes in this year's summer league. Getting a bunch of assists and a lot of missed assists as well. Going to perfect passes with missed bunnies around the rim from Precious and Freddy Gillespie. So Scottie Barnes, the first and main takeaway from this video is it's just blown us away. But the Raptors Summer League team, despite a poor Warriors game where everyone said the world was ending, and Riker and I reacted live to it, and they said we drafted projects and it was a mess, right? So it was, the Raptors have bounced back. We're excited to cover the playoffs and break down all those games here. But the Raptors are doing well. They made a solid offseason. And if you guys want to check out all of our ratings, 3 of our ratings on all of the moves made this offseason, check out the Warriors Report. I don't know if the video's out yet, what order these videos are coming, but there will surely be a video dropped on all of our grades for each of the offseason pickups. And you can definitely check out his channel to subscribe there. Before we take it to an outro, do you have any last words, Prab, on just the Raptors, the YouTube scene, all of the vibes?
First of all, Raptors Digest, I just want to say thank you to you guys. Obviously, I was a huge fan before I even started the channel, and you guys have inspired me. So I just want to say thank you for having me on your channel. It is very much appreciated. This was a lot of fun doing these 2 videos. So I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you guys. You guys were a lot of fun to talk to and work with. Obviously, great basketball minds. So thank you for having me on your channel.
Appreciate that. Appreciate those kind words. And when we started in 2017, the Raptors YouTube landscape was different than what it is today, but it's fun. Like, it's obviously not us, everybody has built this community of Raptors fandom, and it's good to have a platform where everybody can communicate basketball. The one thing I want to say too, actually, we said 5 points. There is a 6-point. Ishmael Wainwright, who hasn't jumped off the box sheet except for 2.7 steals per game. I said PJ Tucker. He's looking like PJ Tucker. He might crack the roster spot. He needs to convert on his threes. He can't shoot dismal 1-for-8s, but listen, 3 steals a game, 7-1 wingspan. That's PJ Tucker to a T.
To a T.
I did not realize he's averaging that many steals. That's insane. I liked him already, but that stat really jumps out at me. I like him. I think we should give him a roster spot as well.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. It's like taking candy from a baby. They run into him. He's a brick wall. So shout out Ishmael. He's going to be a beast. Adding those NFL players. It's new strategy from Masai Ujiri, but we're excited for it to work out. As you mentioned, definitely check out the Warriors Report. We appreciate you for coming on, Prab. It's been a lot of fun recording these videos, and subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to our channel as well. We just hit 20K subs, so we'll see what order those vids will be happening. But you guys are the best for making this far. Check out the Instagram, the TikTok, all that cool stuff. Riker, Prab, do you guys have any last words on the Raptors or anything like that?
Let's go Raptors.
Let's go Raptors. Cheers to that, and cheers overall.